The heart of Paris turned tense and emotional this week as hundreds of South Africans living in France flooded the streets, demanding justice for the late former minister, Nathi Mthethwa, after shocking revelations surfaced about the real circumstances surrounding his death. What began as whispers of foul play has now erupted into a full-blown international scandal, and the confession of the alleged killer has only intensified public outrage. According to French authorities, the suspect, whose identity has not yet been publicly released, confessed to being directly involved in Mthethwa's murder, claiming he acted under orders from powerful figures with deep political and financial influence. The chilling revelation sent shockwaves through both South African and French media, sparking widespread calls for a transparent investigation and accountability for those involved. By dawn on Tuesday, crowds of South Africans gathered outside the Paris Central Police headquarters, holding banners that read "Justice for Nathi" and "Expose the Mastermind." Many in the crowd wore black clothing to symbolize mourning, while others waved South African flags, their voices echoing through the cobbled streets of the French capital. The demonstration quickly gained momentum, with chants of "We want justice" and "No more lies" ringing out in both English and Zulu. The protest, initially peaceful, drew international attention as videos circulated online showing demonstrators clashing verbally with police officers who tried to control the growing crowd. Witnesses reported that emotions ran high as protesters demanded answers, claiming that the South African government had remained silent for too long regarding the mysterious circumstances surrounding Mthethwa's death. "We are not here to cause trouble," said Lungi Makona, one of the protest organizers and a South African student based in Paris. "We are here because we deserve the truth. Nathi Mthethwa was one of us, a leader, a voice, and a symbol of our nation. If his death was planned, then those responsible must face justice." The tension escalated when French media outlets released new details from the killer's confession. Reports suggest that the suspect provided information about meetings, money transfers, and coded communications allegedly used to orchestrate the hit. While authorities have refused to confirm whether these claims implicate any South African officials, speculation is running wild. In Pretoria, political analysts are calling for calm but acknowledge the growing frustration among citizens. If the confession is true, this could expose one of the darkest political conspiracies in recent South African history, said political commentator Teboho Kumalo. People feel betrayed not only because a respected leader was killed, but because it appears those in power may have been complicit. Meanwhile, the South African embassy in Paris released a brief statement urging protesters to remain peaceful and assuring the public that the government is in close contact with French authorities. However, that reassurance did little to ease the anger on the streets. Demonstrators accused officials of hypocrisy, pointing out that there had been months of silence before the confession finally came to light. As the protests continued late into the night, Paris police increased their presence, setting up barriers around government buildings and metro stations. Despite the tension, the crowd refused to disperse, lighting candles in memory of Mthethwa and singing South African struggle songs. For many, this is no longer just about one man's death. It has become a symbol of a broader fight against corruption, secrecy, and injustice. The emotional outpouring in Paris reflects a collective sense of betrayal and grief shared by South Africans both at home and abroad. As investigations continue, questions linger: who ordered the hit? Why was the truth hidden for so long? And will justice truly be served, even if it means exposing the powerful individuals behind the scenes? For now, the streets of Paris remain filled with the sound of South African voices demanding one thing: the truth. And as the world watches, the call for justice for Nathi Mthethwa grows louder, refusing to be silenced until every hidden hand behind his death is brought into the light.